Hello and welcome to Solutions for Your Life, St. Lucie County University of Florida Extension Service. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Matthew Piscatelli. And Matthew, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us. Now, you are the owner of the Flavored Fork Cafe and Catering. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why don't we talk a little bit about how long you've been the owner for and what got you interested in cooking and chefing, and we'll start there.
So, yeah, I've been running my catering business for a little over 8 years now. I started off just kind of doing some small events for some local charities and some fundraisers, and went to culinary arts at IRSC and went through their apprenticeship program. Slowly but surely climbed the ladder and just decided that I wanted to be in the catering business. I wasn't really interested in opening up a restaurant or anything of that realm. So just kind of worked on getting some advertising out there and just connecting with the right people in the community and offering our services. So we've basically been operating for, like I said, about 8 years. We do a lot of weddings, we do a lot of private events, corporate events, and a ton of nonprofit, both faith-based and non-faith-based organizations.
And that's mostly here in St. Lucie.
St. Lucie, Martin County, Vero Beach, Indian River. I've traveled as far as Broward County and upper Brevard County as well.
So what kind of cooking do you favor? I know there's chefs that like to do French cooking, and there's chefs that do other styles. But what's yours? What are you going to make yourself famous for?
I have a background with my name. I have a background in Italian, and that's kind of where my inspiration came from. My dad was a chef. He was born and raised in Italy. Worked for a bunch of different restaurants up in New York, and as I was in my teen years, I was able to kind of go to work with him, and so I learned a lot of the Italian cuisine. Moved down here and got a bit of an interest for the barbecue cuisine, and so actually kind of creating this new kind of cuisine, a barbecue Italian fusion. And people ask, what is that? And I'm kind of figuring it out as I go, but we're pretty much just trying to bridge the two cuisines, the two types of flavors and flavor profiles together to create this kind of new, unique style of fusion, which is kind of like the new generation. We're trying to create new flavors, and so that's kind of what I've been specializing now is barbecue Italian. We do seafood, but all fresh ingredients, of course, and made with love. Made with love.
I attended an event that you catered, and there was a lot more than just this Italian barbecue concept. We had some really good food there. So it's fresh salads, and you like to source locally and use as many local growers as possible.
Yes, we do a lot of our local shopping, Nelson's Family Farms, so we try to stay local as much as we can. There's always challenges with that, with seasonality and stuff. So we try to focus on our menus to be seasonal, fresh, and try to source local. In the catering industry, you can't be one single cuisine. You really have to kind of be a little creative. So when people call us for an event, we try to be flexible and try to offer them a lot of choices. And we allow them to kind of help us create the menu based on what their event is and what they're looking for.
And now you're moving into a new venture.
Yes.
You're going to be the manager for the Sunshine Kitchen Incubator, which is an incubator that will provide time and kitchen equipment to an aspiring chef who wants to kind of perfect his or hers ingredients or recipes. So let's talk a little bit about how you made that move from being a caterer to being the manager for the incubator kitchen.
Yeah, so just a couple of years ago, I had been talking with a friend of mine who's actually a city commissioner, and he had mentioned that there was going to be this shared kitchen opening up here in Fort Pierce. And so I did some research about it, and at first I was really just researching to be one of the clients of the kitchen. I was looking to take my catering business to the next stage and needed a commissary, needed a commercial kitchen. There was a little delay in terms of its building, so I just kind of stayed involved in it and kept up with the building. And then I got a hold of Cindy, who was the owner of Bureau Pro Kitchen.
And that's Cindy
Pickering.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
I went on the website and realized that they were in search of a franchisee for that facility. And so we talked a little bit about what that would look like. And I felt like with my entrepreneurial kind of passion that I've had over the years, that it was something that I felt like I could handle. And so we talked a little more about that, and through a few meetings with the county, I just about 3 months ago signed the contract to be the franchise owner-operator of Your Pro Kitchen, Fort Pierce.
Yeah, and now that partnership is between the St. Lucie County Board of County Commissioners and Your Pro Kitchen.
Right.
And so that's a really interesting combination, and I think that it's really going to be an innovative way to be able to provide kitchen space for those who don't have the kitchen space that's needed.
Yeah, that was a challenge for me over the years because, as you know, running a food business, you have to be very careful with how you handle your food and the food codes, and they have strict regulations of where you can provide those services, and a commercial kitchen is needed. Some people can't afford the rent that's demanded for a full-size commercial kitchen. So we actually have a handful of clients already signed up that are in different areas of the food business. So we don't really cater to just one specific client. We have a company called Devil's Breath Hot Sauce that will be one of our clients, and she has about 15 different sauces that she sells at some of the local markets. I have somebody in the process of signing up that actually provides meals for some of our private schools. Okay. And so she's going to be utilizing the kitchen on a more regular basis. So a nice wide gamut of clients that are interested in.
Well, let's say I have a particular product that I think I would like to be able to refine inside this incubator kitchen. How does that whole process start? Who would I contact, and how does the entire system kind of work?
So basically, they would contact myself. You can reach me either by email, which I believe is on the screen there, phone number, and we basically will set up kind of a walkthrough of the facility. It's still in build out, so we're not quite completed yet, but we would do a walkthrough and then sit down and go over what it would look like to be a client. Of course, they're required to have a food license, a food manager certificate. We will walk through all the steps. If they're literally just a startup and have none of this, we will walk them through the steps. So we're trying to not just be just a place for them to cook. We're trying to be a full-service entrepreneurial business facility. So we're partnering up with the SBDC at IRSC. We're partnering up with UF, USDA, and of course the county to help us with those business services to help a business start from the ground up and actually be a successful food business.
So not only if I have the expertise to say I want to do this hot sauce,
yes,
okay, but I don't have the expertise to maybe learn or understand the business aspect of it.
Right.
You'd be able to come into the kitchen and not only be able to produce your product, but then there's trainings that will help you with serve safe and safe food safety, and
yes,
and also with business classes. So, and that's all a part of this partnership between you and the kitchen and
yes.
Indian River State College and University of Florida.
Correct. Yeah, we'll be hosting our Serve Safe classes at the facility once it's operating, and we'll be working closely with IRSC and the SBDC with a variety of their business classes, which I currently am in the process of enrolling in some of, because as a business owner, I want to make sure I maximize my potential to operate my catering business, but also help these clients in some of the struggles that they're going to face growing their business in this economy, and so.
Well, that's really exciting. Now, what types of equipment are going to be available for someone who wants to sign up? And then let's also talk about the process, the actual process of signing up.
Yes.
What the cost is going to be, what the amenities are going to be once you sign up. Let's talk about things like that.
Okay, so we'll start out with the sign up. Okay, so as I said, we go through the meeting process, and the clients sign up for a 6-month lease. Okay, and they're required to pay a minimum of 8 hours of kitchen time per month, and that's based on a rate of about $16.50 an hour. Okay, and that's prorated down as they use the kitchen more often. So we want to help our clients to not overcharge. So as they use the kitchen more, the price actually goes down, which is something you don't see very often in most landlords. They're usually raising the rent. So yeah, it's a 6-month lease, 8 hours a month. We have a full database scheduling system where they go in and schedule their kitchen time, so there's not too much overlapping going on. Although the kitchen is very large, it's a 4,500 square foot facility. And that's just our kitchen side. We have another 4,500 square feet that the county is currently operating, which will have packaging, and that'll have some equipment such as a canning machine, a blast chiller, which is designed for people that are creating frozen products and need them to be frozen at a very rapid pace. There'll be plenty of tables. There'll be plenty of storage. There's going to be a dehydrator, so if we have a company that's interested in doing some dehydrated products such as like beef jerky, they'll have the professional commercial equipment there to provide a good quality product. The kitchen side, ovens, your typical restaurant equipment. We'll have convection ovens. We'll have large 20-quart, 30-quart mixers. So if we have bakers, they can provide large scale of whether it be pasta or cakes or whatever the case may be. That's all included in the price. We also offer dry storage. They pay for that additional depending on how much space they need. They can have dry storage space that is locked and secured for them. And we also provide cold storage space. Okay, so there's an ample amount of electrical outlets there for clients to bring in their own refrigeration.
And this will be available 24/7.
24/7, 365, holidays. We want them to be able to work on their schedule. I know as a business owner starting up, I had to hold many full-time jobs while I was starting my catering business. I couldn't afford to just go full-time. I had a family, I had bills to pay, and so we want them to be able to work on their schedule. And so we're offering the kitchen 24/7, 365, fully secured. They come in with a key card. There's cameras everywhere, so we're able to kind of keep track of who's coming and going to make sure everyone is safe and secure. There's also offices there, so if they need to meet a client there, if they want to do some type of a taste testing or a product testing, they'll have office space to be able to rent to meet clients there and do that as well.
Excellent. Well, and will you provide any cooking or classes or training classes for someone who may want to learn how to just to be a better cook?
So yeah, we're actually my company, The Flavored Fork, will be facilitating some cooking classes. We're working on putting a package together for the average home cook, or possibly even somebody that's looking to get into the commercial field, that's looking for some technical skills, and maybe isn't not quite ready to get into the college level. We'll be offering different culinary classes for high school as well. We currently have a few clients that I teach for some private schools here in town that we'll be hosting as well.
All right, so how, I always wanted to, I worked in the restaurant business for a long time, and I always wanted to be able to either start a restaurant or create a product or make myself famous for one thing, right?
Yeah,
okay, so,
yeah.
Well, that never happened, right? And a lot of the times it doesn't happen. So how can involvement in the incubator help a prospective business owner become successful?
I think with the wide range of services that we're offering, both food-related and business-related, it's going to help them. And what I've said before is it's going to help them kind of lessen their mistakes and their risks. There's always going to be risks, and there's always going to be mistakes that we're going to make in running our business, just because it's new to us. So we're going to have the support system around them to help them figure those mistakes out a little bit quicker, and not take too many potential large risks that could potentially discourage them from venturing into their food business. So
a lot of the potential mistakes that could be made hopefully by working in the incubator kitchen and working with various partners like Small Business Development Center and the University of Florida, kind of help buffer those mistakes.
Yeah, because we've all, at some point, somebody has either lived it or has learned through education how to avoid some of those mistakes.
Now, you're also talking about trying to work with food trucks as well.
Yes, yes.
So how would that work? Because food trucks is huge now. It's so popular. Everywhere you go, you see these food truck caravans. You go down to Tradition or up in Vero or wherever it is, over in the city of Fort Pierce. They have these events where you'll just have all these food trucks lined up. So how are you going to work with that group?
So we have a unique kind of offering for food trucks. They have a few options. Obviously food trucks are mobile. They move around, and some of them are self-contained in their trucks. They have a full kitchen setup, so they don't really need the kitchen access as much as they need a place to have their license, to get inspected, to dump their dirty water at the end of an event. They need a place to safely dump that. You can't just dump that out in the lawn.
Right. Yeah, it goes out in the environment.
Yeah, we want to protect the environment, so we want to do things the right way, and so we're offering them that access for a very small fee. It's about $250 a year. And that would allow them to just basically get their inspection there and dump their water. If they should need kitchen time, then they can certainly pay for that. We also offer them options to just park their truck there on a monthly basis for about $200, $250 a month, depending on the size of their rig. They can park their truck there and pay a monthly rate. And they can also become clients if they should need kitchen time. That is available to them as well.
Well, so I go to a lot of farmers markets, and I see small little vendors there, and they have a product that they're really, really proud of. And so is that the type of clientele that you're kind of looking to work within the incubator, or is there a different clientele, or is it just kind of a bunch of different types of folks?
It's a wide range, but farmers market clients are most of them are perfect for this scenario, because a lot of them are they're at that stage because the overhead's low. They can set up a tent, sell their product. They have like I said, very low overhead. It doesn't require a lot of labor for them to show up there on a Saturday or whatever day and sell their product. They're getting their name out there. We've got one of the best farmers markets here in Florida. I believe it's rated in the top 10.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. Downtown farmers market.
And I've actually been there several times, connecting with some of the different farmers market clients there, and I have a few of them that are seriously considering. We have a company called Poppy's Pickles that is at the Wednesday farmers market, and he's working on signing up, and this will help him get into a commercial atmosphere and be able to package his stuff in a professional way, and take his business hopefully to another level. So,
and that's what the incubator is going to be all about. You're going to be able to work on one side within the incubator, and then the processing side, and then you can move over to the packaging side, where you can start to work on that. So you have a complete facility for not only for the food, for the processing, but for the packaging as well.
Right, absolutely. Because we know, when you get into wanting to sell to, let's say, a supermarket, that packaging is going to need to be, set up a little differently. There's time constraints. If you want to package it in a larger scale, you're going to need to find ways to get your stuff packaged up in a quicker and safer fashion, so it can sit on the shelf for a little bit longer, and it's going to look professional and compete with all these larger corporations that have a lot of shelf space.
And you talked a little bit about I want to get back to some of the equipment. So
yeah, absolutely.
We talked about the cryovacuum machine, and so there, if you had, for instance, like you said, a jerky or some sausage or something like that, you want to cryovac, that could be cryovac'd, and then you could actually sell that online and send it out. I know for Father's Day, I got this package from it. It was called carnivore.com.
Nice.
And that's what it was. It was all kinds of that packaged beef jerky and sausages and all that sorts of stuff. So there's that ability to be innovative.
Absolutely.
With your marketing as well.
Sure. And then, on the refrigerated side, I was actually on a website the other day, and you can order a variety pack of barbecue meats from a variety of barbecue chefs all across the country. I could go online right now and order some barbecue meat. Not that I probably would, but I could order some meat from Texas and have it shipped to my house.
Really?
Yeah. So it's vacuum sealed, probably refrigerated, and shipped. And so we would like to be able to offer those services to stretch the market for our clients. So they're not just limited to selling within St. Lucie County and our small county here. So there's a lot of options there on the internet-based e-commerce side that can grow their business.
Yeah. So when we were in Orlando, we took a trip to Orlando to check out another pro kitchen.
Right.
And while we were there was a young couple that were baking these cookies, and I mean these
They were
cookies,
delicious.
They were huge.
Yes.
And they had, I think, M&Ms in them and some other things. But their client was Disney World. Mm-hmm. That's where That's where they were selling most of their cookies to. So, what would you think the clientele would be here in our area? Who would appeal? Are we looking at homeowners or chefs or schools or what?
Yeah, we have a different market here. I mean, obviously Orlando, great markets there for them to sell. I've actually tried her muffins too. They're amazing. Yeah. She actually sells to a lot of high-end resorts and hotels up there in Orlando, so she's got great access. Here in Fort Pierce, not to say that we're limited, we just have to be a little bit more creative. We have a ton of small mom and pops kind of markets in the surrounding areas. Out in Vero Beach, there's a place called the Cheese Cave. Mm-hmm. One of our potential clients is a pasta maker who sells to the Cheesecake Cave, and they support a lot of local food businesses. We have Nelson's Farms, which sells a lot of locally made products, so there's a lot of areas that we can sell our products. We can definitely get into small restaurants. Okay. With our sauces and the different clients' products and go right into a restaurant and sell to chefs.
Well, I know, for instance, in places in Vero Beach,
right.
There's the John's Island Club that has like 6 or 7 restaurants. There's availability in Palm Beach, and we have lots of nice places in Martin as well as St. Lucie. So it might not be as congested as Orlando would be,
right.
But there's certainly lots of opportunity.
Definitely opportunity. It's all about networking and making the right connections. And I believe with resources such as UF and everyone else's contacts, we can definitely help our clients be successful and get their product out to the market.
Well, and then if I was to go ahead and sign a contract with you and start to work in the kitchen and be able to develop my product, approximately how long would you want that contract to be? Is there a time limit on how long I can stay in that kitchen? Is it a year or how does that work?
Yeah, so we only require them to sign a 6-month lease, okay? And I know from my catering business that typically landlords usually want a year, 2 years. So because we have a variety of clients here, we're not relying on just one business. We're not requiring anybody to sign up for long terms because we want them to feel it out. We don't want them to overcommit if they're a startup, and we don't want them to feel constricted amongst terms. So it's 6-month commitment, and like I said, 8 hours a month, and they can utilize that time, however it works for them. Okay.
Yeah, and now the incubator is located off of Kings Highway.
Correct.
On Pruitt Center Road.
7550 Pruitt Research Center Road. It's just about 1.5 miles north of Okeechobee Road and about 2 miles south of Orange Avenue.
And how many clients can the incubator handle at any one time?
So at any one time, I would probably say anywhere from 6 to 7 clients, but some of our other facilities have upwards of about 60 to 70 variety of clients, and that includes the food trucks who aren't really using the kitchen very often, but they do have about 60 to 70 clients. So we can definitely help a large amount of food businesses in the surrounding areas.
And total number of clients that you're looking for? 75, 100?
Yeah, about 75 to 100. Yeah, and then As that number gets close, then we'll definitely be looking into possibly a secondary facility somewhere, in the surrounding areas.
And you're also starting to partner with local farms and some of the local produce that's being grown here in the county. So how do you see that partnership working?
So yeah, I got a chance to meet with a gentleman by the name of Dennis over at Synergy Farms, and he specializes in aquaponic and hydroponic growing. And I was really intrigued and excited to learn about it, as it's really much more sustainable through the season. We're looking forward to possibly being able to grow some fresh produce, some fresh herbs out at the kitchen incubator for our clients, and seeing what possibilities and what opportunities that opens up. So, so that'll definitely be a huge asset to our clients.
And so your clients are going to bring all of the materials that are needed to produce their food into the kitchen. That's going to be their responsibility.
Right.
And what about refrigeration?
So refrigeration they will need to provide. Okay, whatever they need. We're not expecting anybody to bring in commercial equipment if they're just a startup. Some of our other kitchens in the surrounding areas have just household refrigerators. As long as it's got a thermostat in there and it holds temperature properly, that's all we require. And refrigeration is about $30 a month for a single door refrigerator, and then they can add as many on as they need as their business grows. Okay. So freezers, whatever it is they need to grow their business. We will provide some of the basic smallwares, but I have encouraged a lot of my clients to bring in certain specific smallwares that they will need to prepare their food, and then they can keep it locked in their stores. But we will provide sheet pans and spoons and all the basic stuff, and table space and whatnot.
And the ovens.
And the ovens and the flat tops. We'll have burners. We'll have obviously plenty of sinks to wash all their dishes there at the kitchen. So.
And anybody that works in that kitchen, of course, is going to be responsible for cleaning up after themselves. And
Without
making
a
sure
doubt,
that kitchen
yes.
looks real clean.
Yeah, we have a
and
full
stays
package, and when we meet our clients, we go over our policies and procedures of what's expected of them in terms of cleaning up after themselves. So.
Well, so what types of events do you see to be able to help promote the kitchen?
So we're looking forward to our grand opening in a couple of months, and being able to host some movie nights out there, some different food demos, anything to gain awareness. We would love to be able to host some luncheons, as we do have an event space. So we'll definitely be hosting some luncheons to gain awareness for the facility, and working with a lot of close organizations.
Yeah, and you're also talking about having a night for men to come in and learn how to cook.
Yes, I would love to do. That's part of our cooking demos. We would love to have like a barbecue demo and different types of cooking demonstrations for different cuisines.
Mm-hmm. And you'd have the same thing for women, of course. Right?
Absolutely. We want to do like holiday dinners. Sure. I mean, people get very intimidated by cooking a Thanksgiving dinner. I know I did for many years. Yep. So we want to encourage them to be able to cook fresh, and it's really not that hard if you just put a little time and love into it.
So in the last couple of seconds, once again, how do we get a hold of you and incubator and make reservations into working in the
So you
incubator?
You can reach me on my cell at 772-985-1221. I can be reached by email at ft.pierce@yourprokitchen.com. Okay, and we can set up an appointment and see what it looks like to help you grow your food business.
All right, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us today, and Matthew, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I look like an Anthony.
Yeah. That's my middle name. That's what I was thinking of, okay? So, Matthew, I'm sorry. Thanks for joining us today, and
my pleasure.
Appreciate your time.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.